Today we're making the IKEA Bekant Office Shelf, the big one actually, the 47-inch wide one. And this is the white one today, so I'm going to go ahead and first unpack it. There's 3 pretty heavy boxes. Get them up out of the way. Pretty thin. Perforated sheet metal. See this here? I don't know how easily you can see the perforations. As you can see, this one has a support member on it. This one didn't, but this one does. Yeah, so this is the hardware. And let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 internal shelves and a top piece, so that should be 5. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then these rails, that, and the box of hardware. So that's pretty much everything here it takes to make this. So usually the first thing I'll do is start trying to separate out these pieces or arrange them. So there's 6 of these pieces, followed by 6 of these. One of these, the black piece. Of course, the good old Allen wrench. I probably will use a electric one. One of these pieces. 15 of these things. Some sort of oh, these are actually the shelf pins, I believe. Put them by themselves over there. 6 of these brackets, I guess. Let's see, these medium size bolts, or there's only 4 of these. Assuming they go in the corners somewhere. And then there's 5 of these. I'm not sure what these big wide-angled pieces are for. I'm sure with the number being 5, probably the odd one out is for strength somewhere. There's 5 of these little plastic nail-looking things too. They probably go with the other 5 pieces here, so I'll leave them nearby. And then of course, there's 20 of these. I'll leave them here because they're so small. Okay, so for the first instruction, these rails are not all the same. So there's 2 pieces that have more of this semicircular cross section. They're the biggest, thickest ones. And then in the middle, there's 2 that are like this, so it's flat, sort of a curve. There's 2 of those. And then there's 1 of this much more, right-angled kind of piece. So it turns out actually all the pieces all 5 rails. We're going to be using these. So these actually push in and will align with the top of the rails. And I'll show you that in a second. So there's 5 of these and 5 rails. So for step 1, we're starting with this piece. As you can see, I'm going to take this piece, this part, and I'm going to line it up with this hole after I stick it in. So I can turn this piece so that it fits inside. And you can see that it lined right up. I'm going to do it with the other 5. For this next step, I'm actually supposed to stand up one of the long rail pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, I'm looking for the one with the rounded corners, rounded edges, and the rail. Lay it down with this side. Okay, so although these things look similar, so this is not the semicircular rail, but the one that's just got a rounded end. There's one side right, one side left. So we're going to use that point, and it goes into this corner here. And then shove it in, and it sits up. So that's step 4. And then we're supposed to take one of those little plastic pieces that looks sort of like a plastic thumbtack, and we're going to stick it in here, and it's supposed to click into place. Yeah, I guess it sort of tightens it a little bit. This next part's a little tricky. In the instructions it shows 2 people, and I'll probably have to do a couple different angles of this, but I'm going to first set this up. So one of these thinner rail pieces, okay, it looks symmetrical, so I don't have to choose exactly the right one. This is supposed to come in, and somebody holds this steady on one side and a second person comes here. I'm going to do my best to do it as one person. But this edge slides into a groove that's sitting on here at an angle, and then it tightens by closing shut on this side. So I'm going to show you guys that groove real quick. Yeah, so what I was talking about, and this is from the top. You see this little channel right here. I'm going to grab this piece again. This is supposed to go in to here. Yeah, it's supposed to go in there, and then as I tilt it and close it, it's supposed to slide in. So it's hard for me to do it and hold the camera at the same time, but I figure you all can see the angle I'm trying to do. Alright, let's see if one person can do it. It's so long, it's just hard to... Yeah, it's just awkward, because the bottom piece is sort of like dangling. Okay, I'm kind of holding it on my foot. Now I'm closing it. Yeah, it's not bad. I think I need to brace it with something so I can get the other piece. So for the next part, I take one of the other types of rail pieces, actually the big semicircle one that I showed you before. It's probably the thickest one, and that'll hold it, come in from the side. So let's see if I can do that without too much air. Yeah. So you got to find the right one. They're not corresponding exactly. So I think I need to slide this in and rotate. Yeah, first I'm sliding the sheet metal in to the groove, the long groove on this one. And then the this, and then drop it into the two holes. Okay, that's good. There we go. And I have to take one of those white thumbtack pieces to click it in. I believe this helps to put some tension on it. Yeah, make it a little stronger. Now, of course, there's no structural strength here, so don't bump into it. You'll probably break the corners. Actually, there is a step that strengthens this hole some, which is good, prior to putting anything else. There are actually some pre-drilled holes here for you to use. One of those 20 screws, or two of the 20 screws. So, let me just... Okay, got it. Do this one. There we go. Mid-size one. And they're all symmetric for these, so as long as you pick the right width, it'll be okay. And it's the same thing. I'm supposed to, because I don't have enough clearance. I need to move this. Okay. Got it. Okay, got it. And this thing tends to be, this plastic piece that you attach tends to want to shift. So, there we go. Careful. You can pinch your fingers. I almost did. I felt it. Okay. So the remaining pieces are pretty much just, at least for this layer, it's going to be here to here, so it's just repeating the same steps we just did. I'll do that real quick. Again, this awkward part. And this is actually the bottom. I believe what's going to happen is that the legs are probably going to go into some of the holes out here. So I'm going to go ahead and place this on the top. I'm going to angle this up a little bit. So for the four corners, two of which you see here and two of which are actually under where you are right now, they use the these sort of brackets right here. I guess it's almost like a washer. The larger hole goes towards the inside and the small hole is on the corner. I'm just going to go ahead and place these where they go. So for the corner pieces, there were 4 medium-sized bolts. So there's 5 legs we have to make, and basically it's fairly simple. One of these threaded longer pieces goes on one end and the foot goes on the other. So here we go. There's 5 of them, one shorter, no, 6 of them, and one is shorter than the others. This tool that came with the Allen wrench allows you to get some leverage on it so you don't hurt your hand. That's cool. This next part is awkward for one person. Let's see if I can do it. I gotta turn it back. Well, turn it right side up because it's upside down right now. Two people would definitely be nice here. I know that when I tip it, I'm gonna put some pressure on that end, the leg, so I'm trying not to. I'll see if I can lift it up on my own. Unless you're a bigger guy, I'm about 6 feet tall, I would recommend doing it with a friend. Alright, so now I'm gonna take some of those remaining screws and drill in. That's it on that. Now we put on the shelves. Well, on this next piece, it's pretty easy now. We're just choosing the heights for the shelves. So there's a whole bunch of these. I guess it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pins per shelf. So you just got to choose the height. And all along every one of these rails, there's I think they're about 1 inch apart. Little holes, and these pins twist nicely in, very similar to the things that we did at the ends of these when we had it in the beginning. So I'm just gonna choose some heights now. Alright, let's try this again. Didn't have every one of the 5 at the right height. Okay, there we go. First one in. That was tough. So just be real careful that you have the height that you expect. I'm going to set a few more. Okay, for sure, this is easier with 2 people. Okay, last one. Okay, so with two people, moving their shelves around will be a lot easier. But for now, I'm good. I just wanted to try a few different heights. The middle two are taller for me right now. So this is the IKEA Bekant Office Shelf. It's pretty sturdy, it feels like. There's an extra bracket feature that I want to show you. If you're like me, you take this little bracket, it just goes through the holes that it's designed to hold, and you can just hang whatever you want on there. So I'm probably going to build another one of these shelves and put it in here, but first I'm going to slide it into place. So there you have it. That's the IKEA Bekant shelf, all finished.